What if one morning you woke up and realized your money doesn't exist anymore? No cash in your hand. No coins, just numbers, digits on a glowing screen. You try to buy breakfast, but the system says transaction declined. Not because you don't have money, because someone, somewhere, decided to freeze your digital wallet. It sounds like a sci-fi movie, but what if I told you this future is already here? Money has always been more than paper or metal. It's a promise, an agreement that society trusts. For centuries, that promise was physical. Gold coins, silver bars, printed banknotes, things you could touch, hide, or even burn. But somewhere in the last 50 years, something changed. Banks started moving money with computers. Governments realized they could track every dollar electronically. And slowly, the idea of cash began to disappear, replaced by digital ledgers, online transfers, and now, something even bigger, central bank digital currencies. Let's rewind to the 1970s. It's the decade when credit cards began spreading worldwide. Before this, people carried wads of cash for everything: gas, groceries, rent. But companies like Visa and MasterCard changed the game. They made spending effortless and invisible. Then came online banking in the 1990s. Your paycheck wasn't handed to you. It appeared on a screen. Money became data. By the early 2000s, digital payments exploded. PayPal, online shopping, debit cards, and eventually mobile payments. Cash was still around, but people were using it less and less. Governments started noticing. If money is just numbers, then who controls the numbers? Fast forward to the 2010s, smartphones turned into pocket-sized banks. Apple Pay, Google Pay, Alipay, Patam, EasyPesa, money moved faster than ever before. China became the first society to almost completely abandon cash. In big cities like Shanghai or Beijing, even street food vendors preferred QR codes over coins. Digital payments were efficient, safe, and fast. But behind the convenience, a silent transformation was happening. When you stop using cash, you stop owning your money. Every swipe, every tap, every transfer passes through a gatekeeper, a bank, a company, or a government server. And that means they can watch you. Then came 2020, a global pandemic. Cash was suddenly seen as dirty, dangerous, infected. People stopped touching it. And governments quietly accelerated something they'd been planning for years: central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Unlike Bitcoin, these aren't decentralized. They're controlled entirely by the state. Imagine a future where every transaction you make, from your morning coffee to your political donations, is recorded, analyzed, and judged. Your money could be programmed, it could expire, it could even stop working in certain places. Sounds paranoid? Let's look at reality. China's digital yuan already exists. In some trials, authorities have set expiration dates on the digital money. Spend it now or lose it forever. In Nigeria, India, and the European Union, digital currency pilots are underway. And in the United States, the conversation has already begun. The rise of digital money brings convenience, but also complete visibility. In a cashless world, every transaction is traceable. That means no privacy. Governments can track what you buy. Corporations can analyze your spending behavior. Banks can decide your risk profile and what happens when that system malfunctions, or worse, when it's used for control. In 2022, during protests in Canada, some citizens' bank accounts were frozen, not by court order, but by government direction. Their money gone in seconds. That wasn't a movie. Now, imagine that, but on a global scale. Some people thought cryptocurrency would be the answer. A rebellion against the system. Bitcoin was designed to be freedom money, untraceable, unstoppable. But as governments cracked down and exchanges became regulated, even crypto lost its pure independence. Ironically, the same technology, blockchain, is now being used by central banks to create digital control systems. The tool that was meant to liberate us is being turned into the tool that could monitor us. History repeats itself, and money is no exception. Every time society invents a new form of money, power shifts. When gold turned to paper, banks took control. When paper turned digital, corporations took control. As we move toward full digitization, that control may fall entirely into the hands of governments and tech giants. And this time, it might be permanent. Did you know that by 2030, the World Economic Forum estimates over 90% of countries will test or launch digital currencies? 9 out of 10. The era of physical cash is ending. So here's the real question. When money is no longer physical, when it's just code, what happens to freedom? Because cash isn't just a payment method, it's privacy, it's independence. It's the ability to live without asking permission from a system, without cash. Every transaction you make can be monitored, recorded, or restricted. And that changes everything about how societies function. 3 takeaways. Takeaway number 1. Digital money is inevitable, but not neutral. It offers speed and efficiency, but at the cost of control. Takeaway number 2. Privacy will become the new luxury. In a world of total transparency, anonymity will have value and may even become illegal. Takeaway number 3. Every financial revolution begins with convenience and ends with control. That's the pattern of history. And this time, we might not get to reset it. The end of cash isn't coming, it's already here. Bit by bit, app by app, tap by tap. The question isn't whether digital money will take over. The question is who will control it. Will it be the people or the system watching them? Because once money turns fully digital, freedom might just become a subscription service. If you want to understand how money truly works, not just what they tell you, then subscribe to Economic Chain, where we expose the hidden side of global finance every single week. Because the more you know about how money moves, the harder it becomes for anyone to control you. This is an Economic Chain, and this was the end of cash.